Good evening. Hope that we are doing well. Happy Sunday. Hope that we're doing really well. I am really happy to be here, despite my... I must say this at the majority of at the start of my my interview sessions. Maybe I should just get more sleep, but hey-ho. Welcome to episode 31 of the Always Better Than Yesterday interview sessions. I hope that we're all well. I hope that we had a great weekend. I'm really excited for tonight's conversation. Really good friend of mine is going to be joining. So I'm just going to send a couple of invites, make sure that we've got great conversation going on tonight. Let us know whether you can hear me loud and clear. Drop me a hashtag replay if you are catching up Ponder Replay. Oh, I got the snivels. Let me know you're doing well. If you are a loyal, Always Better Than Yesterday interview session watcher and listener, let me appreciate you. Drop me a blue love heart emoji. Let me see you in the comments. Let me reach out to you and thank you for your time, for coming to join us always. Hope to continue serving you well, bringing you great guests and invites. Mariana, great to see you guys loud and clear. Fantastic. Thank you guys for letting me know. Loads of people on already. Hope that we're doing well. So if this is the first time you've ever watched an Always Better Than Yesterday interview session, drop me some red love heart emojis. Let me just come down and give you a good fist bump and appreciate you for joining. And let me just explain what they're all about. They are about understanding the habits and the mindset behind successful and inspiring people. And I've been very, very blessed to speak with 30 inspiring people over the last 30 weeks about their habits and their mindset. And we have learned some incredibly amazing things from people just like you and I, who are simply just inspiring by being themselves. And it's been my pleasure to ask a few questions to help understand that a little bit better. Because I'm curious, I want to know the answer to these things, why, what motivates people and what helps people succeed. And who am I to keep all that to myself? So I'd love to kind of share that all with you. And that's what this is all about. And here we are, episode 31. And tonight is with my good friend Luke Burrows. So Luke and I connected probably not far off this time last year through another community, and we've become good friends since. And yeah, it's on the other foot. I mean, Luke has interviewed me a couple of times for his podcast and his personal development community, which we'll talk about in more detail. So it's nice to flip it a little bit and for me to be able to interview him. So all being well, I will bring him on. Fingers crossed. Nice and smooth Facebook this evening. That would be nice. Hello, my friend.
Hello, how are you?
Very well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Awesome, great stuff. Yeah, just like trying to balance my phone because the tripod's kind of broke. But I'm excited to be here.
We make do, right? We get through.
Absolutely.
So, do me the honour, my friend, of introducing your good self to the watchers and listeners.
Okay, so yes, guys, my name is Luke Burrows. I am a youth mindset coach and mentor. So my passion is really helping the younger generation. So that's young people, millennials, and the next generation coming up, helping them with mindset. And a lot of my work is really evolved around helping them to find their passion, helping them to find their passion and live their passion. So that's me. And a couple of years ago, I created a community called Grow Together, and we'll dive into that tonight. So that's pretty much me. And I have a couple of podcasts as well. I was listening, like you said, Ryan, we've interviewed you, so I have my own podcast and I collaborate with a guy called Arsenio on another podcast called Motivational Mentors. So very busy, and I love what I do, so that's the most important thing.
Absolutely, mate. There's so much that we can talk about, so just tell me a little bit more about your story. Tell me how old you are, and just give me a bit of a summary, or give people that are watching just a bit of a summary of what it's like to be Luke Burrows for the last few years.
Okay, awesome. Just say hi to Wendy. She said hi, Luke. Got Steve, Brad jumping out. Awesome. Amazing. So guys, I'm 23 years of age. I first started my kind of like entrepreneurial journey probably 3 years ago. When I first got introduced to network marketing. I first knew I wanted to run a business when I was 17 years old, because I was going to college, and halfway through the second year, I wasn't really learning anything. So I left, and so I spent 6 years out, just pretty much not doing much. If I'm completely honest with you, not really doing much. And then, in this time period, just kind of like a bit more soul searching, and found, that I wanted to run my own business. But at the time I was 18 years old, 17, 18 years old. And what does an 18-year-old know about business? I knew nothing, So I got a business apprenticeship. Cut a long story short, I got sucked into like the 9-to-5 grind, and I was really unfulfilled. Hated what I done as a job. That led to depression, anxiety, and everything. And at the same time, my social circle, let's just say they're very different to me. So I'm not your traditional young person in terms of going out partying and drinks and everything like that. And my social circle was doing that. Not so much the drugs part, but, the drinking, the clubs and everything. So I felt very isolated and alone, which alongside my job and hating what I done, it was just a very difficult time. Then I kind of just looked at it and was like, okay, so what am I doing? I wanted to start my own business, and I'm not doing that. So I just dived into it. Really wanted to build a t-shirt brand, a clothing brand. It's still a huge kind of aspiration of mine as well. To do that, because that was one of the first business models I wanted to, to try and start up and everything. That failed. Then I got introduced to network marketing, which actually led to me to find personal development, which was a huge lesson just there. That was one of the, although again, within the whole network marketing thing, I didn't really do very well there either. I found personal development, and just started to read these books and everything. My upline was telling me, Luke, read these books, and I was like, but I don't read, I don't read, like type of thing, but they're more successful than me. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to dive into this. And then again, cut a long story short, I think it was October 2017. I just looked at it and was like, so what am I doing here, Luke? Like, I still haven't found something that I'm really passionate about and that I want to pursue. And I was like, well, surely I'm not the only young person that's like this, right? Surely I'm not the only person that have options but don't know what path to move down. So that's where Grow Together originated from. And then ever since, I've been building that. And then beginning of last year, moved into coaching and mentoring other young people. And then, just kind of went from there. And I've connected with amazing, inspirational people like yourself and everything. Okay. So, that's pretty much my journey so far.
So there's a couple of bits I'd like to pick up on. And I guess you talked about, it's quite a difficult time. Other than personal development, what would you say helped get you through that time?
Just a deep belief within. So now I know, I've been going, through personal development, I know more about beliefs and everything. But just a deep belief within inside of me that there was more to life than what I was experiencing. Really, like, that was it. I knew that there was more to life than my job, like my 9-to-5 and everything. And although some days I thought to myself, I'm going to be here forever because everything I'm trying isn't working, they were just on like the bad days. Like, when I put things into perspective, I realized that actually, there is much more to life than this, and I just need to continue to keep going, type of thing.
Yeah. What helped you keep going?
Again, just that belief inside of me that, there is more to life than this. And so it's just about, for me, it was just about finding what that was,
Yeah.
And then, I think once I really went through the soul searching process and the self-discovery process and that definitely helped. So if that answers your question.
Is there anything in the personal development space that helped?
Well, so I think just like the small things, just starting to change the way you're thinking, just like the small things. You know what I mean? Like, that then leads to like the bigger things, if that makes sense. Just like from from no, you can't do this to yes, you can type of thing. Just like the small things that then build up, that then create momentum to help you to move forward. I think also that a lot of how the situation that I was in, it was through my own thinking. And so once I realized that actually I can just change the way I think, like, I was creating that, like, most of that through my thoughts, and so it realized actually I have the power to kind of change this type of thing.
Yeah, that's cool. And I talked a little bit about how you and I connected through the personal development community that we joined, the Hunger Start Accelerators. Shout out to the Accelerators.
Absolutely.
Tell me a little bit about that. What inspired you to invest in yourself in that way?
Yeah, so beginning of last year, I started working with Lewis, who runs that, and so then so I was working with him on more of a one-to-one basis, and then then he started his the Hunger Start Accelerator. So it's just a natural kind of thing to go into that. Beginning of last year, I just felt like just have that more one-to-one support type of thing, more of a business setting, because again, I had a lot of things that did not work, and so I felt like I needed to know more about business still to help me to move forward, type of thing. So yeah, that's why last year, and I've continued to invest in myself just to continue that learning process.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you obviously went to the right guy, because he's very, very knowledgeable and proof that he's built multiple businesses himself. So yeah, it was awesome to better connect through that community. And you've started your own. You started Grow Together, and you did that kind of 2 years ago. And we talked a little bit of, because obviously I'm very passionate about leadership, and you've had me as a mentor within your community to talk about leadership. And it's been really interesting for you to reflect on yourself and whether you believe yourself to be a leader. And I absolutely think you are, because you've created a space for other people to come in and learn and grow and develop. And as Jonathan Darling says, if you're able to positively affect the lives of other people, then you are a leader. So I absolutely see yourself as a leader, and I just wonder, kind of, for you, do you see that now, and do you understand why you've created that community and what it is that you want for other people?
Yeah, so I think like the purpose of Grow Together, I've identified it more as I've started it, and I think that's what a lot of young people, like, they're really, like, at the beginning of something, they're really kind of, I don't know if scared is the right word, but they don't necessarily want to start it because they haven't perfected it because of of all these other different things. Like, they don't, and so they procrastinate on starting it. I think what I've done with Grow Together is that I was just like, right, I'm just going to create this community. And in the beginning, I didn't really know what I was doing. I just started it, and then it's through starting it and continue to build it that I've identified more of its values, I've identified more of its purpose and everything. So I think, again, it comes back, well, so that's a huge part of my work as well. It's just like, so you have this idea, start it, because once you start it, you will develop it, like, as time goes on. So yeah, I think with Grow Together, as it's went on, I've identified more of its values and everything. In terms of the leader thing, thanks for that. I think, yeah, so I think, again, because I've just been just doing what I do, sometimes it is taking that step back, isn't it, and going, actually, I suppose I am a leader, type of thing. And it's nice to hear that from people like yourself, because, again, like, sometimes I can get so focused on where I'm going, like, I forget things that I have achieved, and that's something that through this whole personal development journey that I've had to spend a lot more time on.
Absolutely. And my personal definition of leadership is is being able to put your own needs to one side so that you can better meet the needs of other people. And I think that's what being a community leader is all about. It's your time, it's your energy, your nervousness, your fear of judgment, whatever that might be. You put all that to one side to serve your community. And I absolutely think, you stand out as a leader in that field. And I think I relate so much to what you say about just start. I mean, I was that guy that was waiting to be the perfect coach. When will that ever happen? And Lisa always used to say to me, when are you going to start your business? When are you going to start it? And I was like, I'll start it when I'm good enough, or when I'm ready, or when I'm qualified, or all these sorts of things. And what really changed is the phrase "always better than yesterday." And it was always, I remember saying to myself, you can't be always better than yesterday if you keep putting it off till tomorrow.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I really relate to what you said. And I guess for yourself then, what is, you say grow together, and that kind of means that we grow as a community, but how have you grown within that community?
Great question. Yeah, so I mean, that is the purpose of Grow Together, and why I obviously called it that, because, like with your community and always being better than yesterday, like, I still don't know all of the answers. I've still got, like, so much farther to go and everything. So it was creating that community that, I may be 3 steps ahead of somebody that is just starting something, but we can indeed grow together. I think, coming back to your question, I think in terms of how I've grown is maybe a bit more in the confidence side of things, and just I suppose like self-acceptance and things like that, because of what I said before, in terms of my story, that I'm not your traditional young person who does all those things. That just doesn't interest me, and so that played on my mind for a long time, because I was like, well, who am I then, type of thing, and I was exploring that. So that's what I think, and so also my life values. I shared a post on this the other day, that I'm more aware of my life values now. And I seen something you posted on Instagram. I think it was like moving toward, was it something like you done on the Instagram stories? And I was like, yes, right. And like, I love that. So yeah, I think that's how I've grown, is like that more awareness, I suppose, of who I am, and more understanding and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess, authenticity. Authenticity is key. And I guess what gives you the confidence to show up as yourself in a world that likes to pigeonhole people, and you say you're not the traditional young person. What's given you the confidence to keep showing up?
Great question. Yeah, I mean, so I don't really know, kind of thing. Like, I just do what I do, type of thing. That's why I said before, like, sometimes I need to take stops and kind of look how much I've done, because
Cool.
I don't know. I'm just kind of like a mindset, like I just show up and do it, type of thing. I suppose I was thinking about this before, actually. Like regrets type of thing. Like, if I don't do this, in a year's time, I'm going to regret this, type of thing. I think that does help me to continue to move forward, if that makes sense. Just that kind of not wanting to live a life full of regrets. I think that's huge.
Absolutely. You talk about big purpose of Grow Together is helping people find their passion. I guess, what helps you find yours?
Great question. Thought-provoking questions. Great, coach. I need to think about these.
It's cool.
Yeah, so find mine. Okay. Yeah, that's a great question. What helps me find mine? I don't know. So I think just that always. So it comes back into what you're all about. Always be like being that better than yesterday and continuing to move forward, type of thing. And just like helping people. Just having people get to where they want to go, and open other people's eyes to what's truly possible. It comes back into regrets. Like, you can have a choice to. So I see it like with life. I see it in like 2 ways. You can live a life of kind of like to unfulfill your potential, and then one, to be the person you were meant to be. And I think, again, it all comes back to regrets. Like, when I'm 80 and I'm sitting in my rocking chair, type of thing, I don't want to look back and be like, oh, I could have done this, I should have done this, and all of those different things. So that fuels me massively, and that helps me to continue to move forward and have the passion for what I'm doing, and just helping people and seeing other people grow and develop in their transformation and creating that impact and legacy as well, I suppose. If that answers your question, some great questions. So.
Yeah, man. Expand on legacy. Tell me more about that.
So I think legacy and impact are two things so just in this, 13 days into 2019, that I've really identified as well, that before, they were there, but I didn't really focus. Like, I don't know, I think just this year I'm more aware of that. I'm more aware of like leaving a legacy and just helping other people. So, that continues. And that's a huge thing with Grow Together as well. Like, although I'm the founder of it, if I move on to something else, because I've got so many different passions and everything, and things I want to do and pursue, then that would still go. That would still help young people. That would still help the next generation to continue to find their passion and dive into personal development and grow. So, I think impact and legacy for me are starting to be huge factors in what I do. And even with impact, I think I mentioned that I have loads of different passions. Like, what each one has in common is impacting other people. And so, I've been, I don't know, like the first 13 days into this year, those two things have really started to come to the forefront of my mind.
Yeah, love that. And you know that I'm a big Simon Sinek fan. And did you know Simon Sinek's definition of a community?
I don't know. I don't.
Simon Sinek's community definition is a group of people that agree to grow together.
Oh, I love that.
It's cool, isn't
I had no idea. I just love that.
It's good, isn't it? And you know you surround yourself with the right people. I mean, Jonathan Darling's on. He's talking about impact being his word for 2019. And it was great to hear him share his views. And, you know, that's the thing for me. I love being able to surround myself with like-minded, inspiring people that don't necessarily think exactly the same. They came at the same thing that's important to you, the values, but at different ways, different experiences, different backgrounds. I guess, you know, what does community represent to you?
Yeah, shout out to Jonathan as well. He came on our podcast and it was an awesome one.
Yeah,
so Jonathan, awesome. So yeah, what does community mean to me? I think like with Grow Together and the Grow Together community, I use this as an example that we're all there to grow type of thing. I think that is what community means to me, is that, you know, so as you said, all from different backgrounds, they all may have different passions, but somewhere within there is that they share common values maybe, or there's something in common, you know. And I think that is what, again, I'm trying to build at Grow Together, is that community of millennials, you know. And I mean, I say millennials, that's just where my focus is through my own story and some of the things that, you know, I've been through and that. But like, I've worked with people who are older and, you know, so that, again, like, I just want to stress, like, that's just where my focus is. But yeah, I've worked with people that's older, and we've got people in the community that are huge community members, yet they're older, but it's just having that something in common type of thing, and you're coming together for a sole purpose.
Absolutely, I love that. And it's gone. I was going to say live
happens to me all the
live
time.
interviews. You know, and you're very active. You bring a lot of people together. You share a lot of value. You share a lot of content. And I guess that's what I was going to say. For people watching, for people listening, why should they, or someone that is more suited to this community, join Grow Together? Who should join and why?
Yeah, so I think, great question. I think anyone that has or a similar kind of like mindset that I was in, that you believe that there is more to life than is on the forefront, you know, that meets the eye, but you don't necessarily know what that is, and you're seeking to pursue and get clarity on what that is for you, because obviously for everyone it's different, you know. And I think those are the types of people that would gain massive value within Grow Together.
Yeah, amazing. So guys, girls, you've heard that. Please do share that. Either share it in the timeline or share it in the inbox of someone that you genuinely believe would benefit from this. And I think I'm certainly I can testify to Luke's powerful community. He does add a lot of value himself, but actually some of the main value Luke adds is bringing other like-minded, inspiring people to you and to us, and that's only possible if you're a great guy. So, you know, people believe in you, my friend, and, you know, people wouldn't be showing up and helping your community if it wasn't for you. So much kudos to you. What else do I want to ask you? What sort of ways can people find your content? You talked about a couple of podcasts. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I have my own podcast. It's called Real Talk. So I'm actually going through a process where I kind of change the format of that a little bit, but that's pretty much where I hop on a Facebook Live or I do a video on a topic in life and just speak from the heart type of thing, of my thoughts and everything on it. I then do a podcast called Motivational Mentals. I'm a co-host with a guy called Arsenio Buck, awesome guy, huge energy. Love collaborating with him. And so, yeah, you can find that podcast on iTunes or any other of the main podcast platforms. So it's called Motivational Mentals. But guys, you know, add me up here on Facebook if you want to connect with me. I'm on Instagram, you know, all of the main social platforms under the username Real Luke Burrows. So, you know, go and follow me, connect with me, and I will connect with you back. Yeah.
Amazing. Jonathan Darling says, when are either one of you going to write a book? So I I would love to write a book, but that's not on my agenda anytime soon. What about yourself, my friend?
Yeah. So it's definitely so probably like yourself. It's something to aim towards, but I don't think I'm there this year.
Absolutely.
Next year, I'm not sure, but probably not this year. Although you never know. Opportunity might come up, but it's not in the 2019 game plan. I'll put it that way.
It's amazing, isn't it? Because I wonder, if my book was going to go out, what would it be like? And I think, I've already found the book I'd love to have written, and it was written by David Volpe, who was joined us, I think, on one of the earlier episodes, and his book, Just a Thought, just looks and feels everything like so it's already done, it's already written. So I think maybe what I will do is I will turn all of my Always Better Than Yesterday interview sessions into a mentor's book, a bit like Tim Ferriss.
Man, that's an awesome idea. Yeah. I love that. I love that idea.
The lessons from the inspirational people that have joined me.
Yeah, I love that. It's a great idea.
I've said it now, haven't I?
The thing is, though, you have declared it to the 5 viewers that are currently on live with us, and all the other people that are going to, watch and then listen on the podcast as well. Absolutely,
you heard it here first. So, Jonathan's got another question. How do you cultivate self-belief in yourself to continue your mission?
Should I go first, or do you want to go first?
This is purely you, my friend. You're the
purely me.
Yeah, okay. Absolutely.
Okay, how do you cultivate self-belief in yourself too? Okay. Yeah, I mean, great question. I think for me, I kind of go off the things that I've already achieved, but also realize that there is nothing that. So I have this saying that I can do anything, but I may not be able to do everything. So actually, if I put my mind to it and really focus on it, then as human beings, we can pretty much do anything. But the problem is we try and do everything in like a single moment. And so I think again it comes back to perspective and everything. But I mean, Jonathan, does that answer your question? Drop it down below. That's how kind of I think and how I try and show up and as you say, cultivate self-belief in myself. I go off the back of the things that I've already achieved, and then just realize that it's a mindset game, and that really. So
I'm gonna I can do anything, but I might not be able to do everything. I like that. That's powerful. I like that a lot. Awesome. So my my approach is about being always better than yesterday. What does the phrase being always better than yesterday mean to you?
So a few different things. I think it means showing up every day. I think it means it also means your intent. So waking up in the morning and just having that intent and that confidence and that kind of focus that, yesterday I don't know. I don't like to score things. So just an example for our viewers and listeners. Like I was a 6, so today I'm going to do whatever I can do to be a 7 type of thing. Like having that mindset of just, just being better than yesterday and just focusing on where you're going, really.
Yeah, amazing. And do you have some rituals, some habits that you do to help you be better than yesterday? Help you keep growing?
Yeah, so I have a morning routine, an evening routine, and then every week I usually review my week and see what's worked, what hasn't worked, what I can improve on. A similar process for every day as well.
Do you mind expanding on those?
Yeah, sure. So I just asked myself pretty much a series of questions. I can bring them up actually. And share them with you. So I actually do these things every day called morning power questions and evening power questions. So they're a series of questions. You may have heard of them. It was in a Tony Robbins book I read. Yeah. So they're questions like what am I most happy about in my life right now, grateful for, and just focusing on your mind on like some of the good stuff that's going on, because our brains can just attach to the negative very often. So some of my weekly questions I ask myself are, what were the biggest lessons from this week, and how can I implement them moving forward, type of thing. What worked this week, what did I achieve? I think with these questions it's bringing it into your awareness. I think awareness is huge. And then identify things like what didn't work so well, and what can I do differently to change that, and then I think that question's awesome because it's saying, what can I do, not expecting anyone to do something for me. Hi Adam, how you doing, man? And then so pretty much those sorts of questions. Another great question. So what were some things I was putting off this week, and how do I plan to overcome that for next week? Because guys, we all can put things off, and especially the big scary stuff, So again, for me, it's about awareness. Like if it's in my awareness, then that's the start of the process to change it.
Do you know what's just come into my awareness?
Okay.
That we just got the memo, the black t-shirt memo.
Oh yes.
Amazing. So, mate, it's been an absolute pleasure to finally have you on. We've been collaborating for some time now, and it's been awesome to get you on. Would you like to leave the guys, girls with a final thought from Luke Burrows?
I will. Can I just open it up to any more questions if people have them? So, guys, we've got a couple of viewers on too. If you do have any questions, I will go through it at the end and answer them. But if you do have any, then I will answer them as well. So final thoughts, was it? Final thoughts, yeah? Okay. Okay, great question. So I think I wrote something down here, actually, that I was going to answer one of your questions, but I didn't get around to it. So for me, a huge thing that through my whole personal development journey that I've realized is that, and this is actually part of a quote, so, I just threw that out there, that that I'm actually stronger, wiser, and smarter than I ever believed I was, and it kind of comes back into my thing I mentioned before, that I can do anything, And so I think it's like having that self-belief in yourself. What I would say is not to take anything for granted. That's something that I'm hugely massive on as well, is that, yes, in times when I need to be strong, I've been stronger than I've ever thought, I ever would be, But I just think not taking anything for granted in life is just such a huge, lesson that we can all just bear in mind and move forward with. So that would be some of my final thoughts, and just, whatever your passion is, just go out there and pursue it, and always be better than yesterday, and just live your best life, guys.
Expect nothing, appreciate everything.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Wendy says, what makes you happy?
What makes me happy? That's interesting, because I've just realigned my life values, and happiness is one of my highest life values. So I think what makes me happy. So being around the right people, I think that makes me happy. I think being around my family makes me happy. Loving what I do, having that sense of purpose, having that sense of helping people, and knowing I'm doing good in the world. So those are some of the things that make me happy. Alongside
Liverpool
football
being top of the league as well.
I was just about to say, yeah. So guys, take nothing for granted. I'm not taking that for granted. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. You've never known a winning Liverpool team, I guess, have you?
Not really. Apart from the Champions League when back in 2005, it was over God how many years ago now. That's the only. Apart from that, then no. So I'm taking nothing for granted. Sometimes my friends are like, top of the league, and I'm like, okay, let's not jinx it. Let's play this down. Let's play this down. So take nothing for granted. But football also, that's a huge another one of my passions.
Yeah. What Sarah says, what do you do when you want to relax after a busy day?
What do I do after? Usually football. Usually football. Maybe some meditation or something. Journaling. Because I have about over 10,000 thoughts every single day of new ideas that I want to do and pursue. So getting them out onto paper, try and cut off, and then try and get into a football match or something to shut my brain off. That's pretty much the only thing that does it. So
Awesome, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you to everyone that has joined in, watched, listened on whatever format you've done that. Please do share this with that one person you believe that this would make a huge difference to. Connect them with Luke. They will not regret it. Either connect them through his own accounts or connect them through the Grow Together community, which I've added a link to here in the live itself. So please do go and reach out and connect. Mate, this has been a pleasure.
Thank you.
I look forward to working with you much more over the rest of the year.
Absolutely, man. Thank you.
No worries. Take care, everybody. Much love.
Bye.